What's happening, YouTubers? It's your boy CB, and we are back for my favorite segment on the channel, film watch alongs with recruits. On today's episode, for you guys that like ball hogs, for you DB fans, this is your episode. You have clicked on the right video, my friend. One of the fastest rising recruits in the 2026 class, four-star cornerback Jaelen Waters, is a absolute monster on the back end. Some of the best range and ball skills you will see, regardless of class, regardless of position. Just recently got his four-star ranking from Rivals and was also tabbed as a top 30 recruit in Florida by 24/7. But you don't want to hear it from me. You want to hear it from the superstar himself. So without further ado, four-star DB in the 2026 class, Jaelen Waters. What's happening, bro?
So, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, man, down here in Texas. How's things going out there for you? Enjoying the recruiting process and a little bit of downtime this week.
I'm just going good. It's just getting a little bit crazy.
How I want to ask you, how's that been? Because the season ended, and we follow you. The people in the comments follow you. I do. We see week after week is offer, 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 and the tournaments, and seems like it's been really busy since the season's ended. How has that been balancing the recruiting, the work that gets put in, but also trying to have a life as well?
So actually, my coach, shout out to Coach Davis. He helps me with a lot of that. He takes some time off and actually like helps me with my recruitment, helps me with school. So like when I need help with like just communicating with coaches, he'll step in and communicate and be like, hey, he needs some time off. He stuff like that with
I love
school
that.
too. Like if I need more time in class, like when the coach trying to call me out, he'll be like, "Hey, he needs more time in this class. Like just chill off on him real quick." So I want to give a big shout out to Coach Davis, my head coach.
I I love that. I like that keeping you balanced too and being like, hey, he can call you tomorrow. He's still Jalen tomorrow. He
Yeah.
need the rest of the night. Or hey, he got a big test. He can't be on the phone with this DB coach tonight. He got stuff to do. I like that he can step in and be like, all right, I can see if he's overwhelmed. Let me because I think people forget y'all are still human beings, bro. Like, you got a life outside of football, you got family. Like today is Easter Sunday. Like I got you on this, and you got family there. I think people forget that some of the sacrifices y'all make to be great at the game. So I love that your head coach keeps you balanced. So when we talk about recruiting, that offer sheet has some of the who's who of college football. But there's a couple I want to dive into specifically, a couple of the hometown teams. Florida in particular, it's a school that you visited several times. Went to see a game during the season. What was that atmosphere like being there in real time?
So my favorite game was actually for the state. That game was crazy. Uh,
Hey.
I actually got to sit right, like I actually got to sit like right by the field. So that game was crazy. I got a teammate. Well, he wasn't my teammate, but he was like a Armwood alumni. His name Desmond Watson. So just going there every time and just like seeing how he just translated like through high school to college, like that just like inspires me to just be like, dang, he's in my the shoes I want to be when I grow up. So I just love going to Florida. Florida is like another home, like just like another like cool spot to go out every time I need.
What's that relationship like with the staff over there? Because we know when it comes to recruiting, they like building those relationships first and early. How's that relationship grown with you and Coach Napier?
It's good. Every time he see me, he laugh and we crack jokes. Every time me and Coach Armstrong see each other, do the same. Coach Will too, we do the same, and also Coach Larry. Like the whole coaching staff just real cool with me. They always say I'm welcome anytime. So just like again, it's like a home.
Growing up in Florida, was being at that game that close to that Florida State game? Was that everything that you thought it was growing up seeing it?
Not how not how it is on TV. But in person, it's way different. Things move way fast. The game faster. It's loud. It's in the swamp. So yeah.
That's got to be dope though, being a hometown kid, being able to see that. And you spoke about some of you had a teammate that was on your school, but you also have it through your 7-on-7 circuit. A lot of those guys that you play with were on the field that day, so that got to be dope just from your perspective, being like, hey, I covered him last year, like he out here looking nice. I had him locked down last year. So there's a couple other schools I want to bring up. Some of when we talk about college football, these are some of the blue bloods of college football. USC, you had a couple teammates recently commit to USC from your 7-on-7 squad, but you yourself have your own offer. What's that relationship like with that staff over there at USC?
So actually, I didn't get to meet the head coach when I was there because they have a new coaching staff, also Coach Belk. So when I was there, I met I forgot his name, but he had came down to my school about 2 weeks before I had got offered. He had came down to my school. We was chopping it up. And then while I had a tournament in LA, we had visited. So when we visited, I had went up and I talked to Coach Belk. That's the DB coach over there. And we just gotta grow our relationship. Man, his relationship is good. We were just chopping it up, talking and stuff like that. I didn't get to meet the head coach, and I just was talking to the DB coach.
How excited are you to potentially get back up there and see a game up there in their stadium, one of the most historic college football stadiums?
Yeah, I'm real excited. I gotta get up there for sure. It's LA, it's just LA.
Yeah, I was gonna say too that the vibe up there probably not too bad for a Florida boy neither.
Yeah.
And then so we go from LA to the middle of the country where it get cold, cold, cold. Notre Dame, another one of those historic college football programs. One of those that when you start playing ball, these are the schools that you write down. Man, hope I get that ND offer. That Notre Dame offer did come through. What was that feeling like getting that offer from such a prestigious school?
It was a great feeling because I'm just not a football player now no more. I'm an academic football player. So Notre Dame is like that's that one school. It's just like everybody don't want to go to Notre Dame, but it's also an academic school. So I was real excited about my Notre Dame offer.
My pops always used to tell me, he would say, when you see someone get a Notre Dame offer, that's a true student athlete. That means he run a 4.4 and he got an A plus. Like that, that means he is the cream of the crop when it comes to both. How much do you put stock in that when you get those offers, whether it be Ivy League or Notre Dame? How much does that make you proud as a student and not just an athlete?
Well, see, since like now, like I have got all these offers. It's just like a blessing thing. But like once I had got my first offers, it was like I actually really like sat down and was like, dang, this everything's like coming true. Like I didn't put in all this work, and then like now it's just like everything is just coming. But now I'm just like putting in the work. I get all these offers. At the end of the day, I'm gotta go to one school, so like I'm just blessed to have this opportunity.
What was that very first one? Who was it from?
Well, that's a long story because once my very first offer was USF, but I had heard that Iowa State offered me 2 weeks before that, but I just never known. So
What?
yeah, I actually didn't know about it. So once I posted my USF offer, and I was like, I'm very blessed to receive my very first offer from USF. Iowa State had a feeling about that, and it was like, hey, we offered you first, like why you didn't, what I'm saying, you know how that goes.
But it was an honest mistake, like on your part. It wasn't like you was trying to, you know what I'm saying, throw somebody under the bus. It was an honest mistake. So you got to relive your first ever offer twice, technically.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
technically.
yeah. Also, once I found that out, I actually got another offer in the same day, Western Michigan.
So they just started boom, boom, boom once they finally came in.
Yeah.
So before we get into your film, because I know people are like, I want to see the ball skills. We gonna get to the ball skills. There is one more thing I want to get into. 7-on-7 down there in Florida is a different beast. Being down here in Texas, it's trying to catch up, but it's not what it is. And I'm sure you know because you guys travel. Playing on that raw 7-on-7 team, how much has that made you a better DB and all around football player?
It has. I'm gonna lie. When we went down to for Miami raw tryouts, it was a different speed, like Miami different speed. Receivers down there is quick, way quicker than it is up here. Like they just move in a different speed, they move in a different game. So like Miami, yeah, Miami is yeah, yeah.
How much being in that secondary with some of the coldest defensive backs in the country has helped elevate your game?
Again, shout out to Drake Stubb. You know, that's my boy. Him just being over top of me is just like me gaining more confidence in myself because I know I have this type of personnel dude behind me. So you know, just like that, just like gaining off of his energy on the field. That too.
I was about to say that y'all are known for two things. One, swagger. Second, energy. The energy at y'all games and on these clips, you can feel it just watching it. But what is it like being there live when y'all balling? Describe for the people that have not seen y'all live. What is a raw atmosphere like on the sideline when y'all tearing it up?
It's like it's like basically a box. It's like just surrounding it by us, and then all we need is one pick. If we get one pick, the game over.
It's over. Y'all just turn up.
Yeah.
And for those of y'all that are like, hey, you said ball skills, you said range. Jalen, I don't know if you grew up playing receiver or if the ball skills is just something that came natural to you, but it's some of the best ball skills a DB can have. What do you attribute that to?
So actually, I did play receiver when I was. I actually played running back and receiver when I was little league, and then out of nowhere, I don't know how I transitioned to DB. I don't know. I just got thrown one time, and then I was just like, I got to get better at this. So then I just
Did you
kept
like
like,
it at first?
um, it was all right. Let me just say that it was all right. It was all right.
When do you when do you feel like it got comfortable for you?
This year.
What was that attribute to? Is that film study or is that just reps and being more comfortable out there?
So like this off season, last off season, let me say, I was on the grind. Like I put in work every weekend. Like I used to get my DB trainer every weekend, even before games. I used to go out on the field every week. Like I used to just like, hey, I gotta work on this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this, and I'm still gonna do it this year. But I used to just that year that game right there. I used to just always just yeah, I gotta do this. I gotta get better on this.
You feel like being a receiver helped you a bit transition before you really got DB down?
Yeah, cause now like I know how a receiver thinks and moves.
Yeah.
So I can be a
It's a
step in.
cheat code.
Yeah.
And then we see you press at this play here, bro. You run track?
Oh yeah, I actually do. I started this year.
I was gonna say, because if you don't, I know when the track coach saw this, he was like, "Hey, let me see number 11 real quick on the 4x1 squad." This effort, this never giving up, that's hard work, but that's also coaching. I know there's a coach that be preaching to y'all, don't stop till the whistle blows. This kind of effort from you, where does this come from, bro?
Actually, that play in my head, I was actually mad because I told my DB he's going to Iowa. Actually, I told him I said they're stacked. I said you have to like we got to play levels. His guy came right to me. We hit each other. I'm like, hey Rashard. I'm like, what you doing? I just go to running at him. Then I'm like, oh, he just running with the ball in his hand, right hand. So I'm just like, let me just head it out, get the ball back.
Bro, that awareness, you had a full-blown conversation with yourself mid-play that happened in milliseconds. And you
Yeah.
said this year was the first year you felt really comfortable at DB. When can you pinpoint when the game started slowing down for you to where you could diagnose like this in the middle of a game?
Let me say. Let me say after Venice game. After we played Venice, that's when I actually started to actually like. It's just personnel. It's just like personnel. What I would do in this type of personnel, and also who I'm going to be guarding.
How much of that was film study?
Oh, we watched them a lot. Yeah, and then shout out again, shout out to Coach Davis. We have we and our Armwood, we have this thing where they can track how much film you watch, like how much film you watch. So if you don't watch this amount of film until the week over, you won't play.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love your coach not playing around at
Yeah.
all. Has that did that come easy for you? Because you know, a lot of people, the film study that comes later. You know, it's something they don't necessarily enjoy until the game kind of starts making more sense to them. Was that something though for you that you was always like, ah, no, this is pretty dope.
Um, I had to understand. I had to understand how to really watch film, how to break down film, because anybody could just watch, turn on the
Yep.
film. But it's different between watching film and actually breaking it down. What are you actually looking at? What are you actually looking for?
Bro, you being a former offensive player and being this physical against the run and this physical period, that's something that you don't see a lot from receivers that switch to DB. But you don't mind getting your nose dirty. You don't mind hitting. Where's that physical side of the game? Is that something that you've always enjoyed?
Well, it's just like quarterbacks. I love hitting quarterbacks and wide receivers. Just like just like hitting quarterbacks and wide receivers.
For you as a DB, what's more enjoyable? I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Getting an interception, or when you going up against a receiver that you know is 4-star, 5-star, one of the top ranked guys, and you can shut him down for a whole game. What's more fun for you?
That going against a 5-star and shutting him down the whole game.
How much
'Cause,
of that is just the competitor in you? Do you just relish them opportunities when they tell you, "Hey, he like that," and you like, oh, "Okay, we'll find out."
yeah, that's what I like. Every time I just like running around with receivers, like I just like especially in this game. That's when I got actually like put on the spot. My coach told me I got to be on him the whole game. I just took it, and knowing look, I'm the youngest. Remember, I'm still the youngest on the team. I'm a sophomore. I'm really the youngest on the defense that was starting that year. So I'm like, yeah, I just got to do what I got to do.
Being one of the youngest now, you kind of gonna be a veteran going into your
Yeah.
junior year now. How's that mindset a little different approaching your junior year where now it's not a who's 11, it's oh shit, that's 11. They know who you are now. How's that mindset a bit different for you preparing for this junior season?
Well, I'm just gonna help the jits that was under me, like that's under me. Basically, like how they was doing me when I was young. Like shout out to Rashard. Every time, every play, he'll tell me like, bro, you need to do this. You need to do this. You need to, he'll just help me on calls and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just do that with the younger boys, tell them what they need to do on the field. Just basically help them out, just like how I got.
Have you reached that point yet where you at 7-on-7 tournaments or camps and younger players are asking for your gloves or they ask it they
I have one pair of gloves, and that is Florida pair of gloves. I used to have a lot of gloves, but I only have one pair.
is that a bit different for you? Because I would imagine just a couple years ago you were, you know what I'm saying, you were asking for a pair of gloves, and now you finish a tournament and there's somebody like, oh shit, that's Jalen. Let me see if I can get his gloves. I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I actually give gloves. Because when I was them, I used to ask the people before me about gloves, and I used to ask them about sleeves and etc. like that. So I'm most definitely gonna get them gloves and stuff like that.
Who, who are some of the DBs you looked up to when you were coming up on the circuit?
Sauce Gardner and Jalen Ramsey for sure.
Two of the best. I was gonna ask you, are there DBs you like to watch to see if Sauce was gonna come up? I think it's the length that reminds me a lot of Sauce Gardner when it comes to your game. It's them long arms, but not just that, but you use them too. In press man, some of the best work I have seen is on your tape. Is that how, if you could pick, because we see a little bit of everything on your film. We see you nickel, we see you in the slot, press off. If you had to pick a perfect way that you could be played, it's fourth down, it's you versus star receiver. How would you like to line up?
Press man.
Let's go.
Like,
What is it about y'all's Florida DBs, bro, where y'all just press man, leave me on an island?
because it's I don't know how people think it's hard, but it's easier. You just if you comfortable and you trust your technique, everything should like fall in line.
That's amazing to me, bro. Because every time I get a corner or a DB from Florida and I ask them that question, they be, "Hey, press man, bro, put me in his face. I don't care who he is." It's a different type of swagger y'all got out there when it comes to DB. You feel like that helps you when you go to camps. It's not a cockiness, but a confidence that when you go to camps and if they want to do a one on one, you like this ain't. I'm not tripping. I get up in somebody's face.
Yeah, I'm a physical corner as well, so I like putting my hands on. Receivers hate when you put hands on. So yeah,
Have you see that? And that's interesting to me because you used to play receiver, but you like being physical. When you made that transition, how fast was it that you started to realize, ooh, like I could bully receivers and they don't like that.
yeah. So I had to actually like know, like I had to actually again like know what my game is because I didn't know how long my arms was. So once I found
That's
actually
interesting.
like before the ball is hiked, I really can just stick my hand up and just like I can touch them. So like just stuff like that. So I'll just work on different techniques about like just really basically like playing the game like knowledge. Right when the ball is high, I'll probably just like do a little quick jump and just get back square, stuff like that. Just like basically play on the receiver's mind every rep.
That's the reason that's so dope to me is we started this by you saying it took me a second to get comfortable, and then I had to look all off season. I'm gonna work 3 times a day to get comfortable at DB. Now you at the point where you toying with receivers at the line of scrimmage. You getting in their heads pre-snap, and these are all things that are happening in milliseconds, and you're able to do this. That growth is ridiculous. What do you think freshman you would say if he could see your highlight tape, your offer sheet, and the player that you've become in just a short period of time? What do you think freshman you would say?
I worked a lot. Like it was times in the where my mom used to tell me, "Jay, get up. You got to go to practice." I did not want to go to practice. Like it was times like where like that summer, my freshman year summer, that was crazy.
What is it that keeps you motivated on those days? On those days when you hear Jalen and you like, bro, I'm sore. I'm tired. I got this test tomorrow. I didn't study last night because I'm tired. And now I got to go run and do M drill. But what is it that keeps you on those days? All right, I'm going to still get up and I'm going to still put the work in. What is that why that keeps you motivated?
I got two. Let me say the first one is rankings. Like to show everybody like I'm not who they think I am. That's the first
Let's
thing.
go.
Then the second thing is let me see. The second thing would be just like me being the better person I am, just like every day, because somebody else is working harder than me every day. So just like
Love that mindset.
me being trying to be work harder than the next person beside me.
And before we get you out of here, there's something I got to ask you about because it's about to get real busy for you in a second. But one of the biggest tournaments of the year is coming up, OT7. He know y'all, you and the Raw squad is preparing to head up to Dallas. How hype are you for that tournament?
This is actually my first OT7 tournament, so
Let's
I'm
go.
but I'm trying to see how everything's gonna go. Yeah, I'm actually real excited for it.
I think it's gonna obviously every time y'all pull up to a tournament, it's gonna be a movie, but this is a little bit different. So look, I wish y'all nothing but success. I'm gonna try to be up there to root y'all on, but not just that. For your junior season, I wish you nothing but health and success as well. After your junior season's over and you get 10 picks, we're gonna have you back on here, watch that junior film so we could break that down as well. But until then, let them know where they can follow you on Instagram and Twitter so they can keep up with you.
My Instagram is WA1ERS. That's my Instagram, and then Twitter would be my last name underscore Jaelen.
And I'm gonna link both of those down in the description. So all you got to do is click those and you'll go straight to his pages. And I'm gonna link his huddle because what I do love about his huddle and his quick cut is they'll break down game to game as well. So I'll link both of those. So those of y'all that's like, damn, I need him on the squad. I want to keep up with him next year. I'll link his highlights so throughout the year y'all can keep up with him. Bro, thank you so much for coming on. Like I said, I wish you nothing but success going forward, both on the field and off the field. And I cannot wait to see you turn up for your junior year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No problem, bro. Like, share, and subscribe. Go follow Jaelen right now. We out.